A long time ago, a wise man once said, "To err is human, to forgive is divine." So let me reintroduce myself. I am Caged for Life, or known through my pseudonym, The Cage, and I am the human. Not a human, but the human if we're going off of the quote. Why is that, you might ask? Well, my dear child, let me tell you the tale of when the unstoppable force met the immovable object. In my last video, I said I will continue to play the Roblox game called Sylbyte, and that is exactly what I did. I was expecting, a light recording session of like 2 or 3 hours because that's how long it took me to beat Syl. Oh my! How naive I was. I should start by giving a rundown of the story before I get into actual gameplay of the chapter. After we finish fighting Syl, she tells us that Orin, the Umbral, usually appears at night, so the gang and I wait for night to catch her. Syl tries using her magic to find her, but the Umbral shuts that down immediately. We later find her and run after her, like how you guys keep girls safe at night. After some time running after her, we trap her in a dark and spooky alleyway where she is very nervous, but Naomi calms her down because she knows her, though she doesn't really seem too fond of it. After we explain her situation, the Umbral says that she knows someone in the lower layer that can help. That's all she says. Syl gets pissed off at this because they went through all that trouble to catch her, as well as Syl losing her magic just for that. Naomi gets mad at Syl for this because Naomi is oh so righteous. Remember the library? We are forced to pick an option, and I side with Syl because that's the insane option, and I'm insane. Duh. Why else? Now this is where the real problem decides to show its ugly face. When I was fighting Syl, it was pretty basic stuff and easy to adjust the movement of her attacks, Like they weren't that difficult. Throw all that knowledge out the goddamn window, because boy do I tell you that Orin is a completely different tier above Syl. Yeah, you saw that right. The first attack had me completely flabbergasted on what the hell I got myself into. This attack is like Syl's second attack, but far more dangerous. Instead of Syl's attack, where there's like a gap between the pellets, that just doesn't exist here. You can literally see a wall forming between the two different sides of the screen. I struggled on this a whole lot, given I don't really know how am I supposed to walk through the wall. And like I said in the previous video, I was only going to use the human ability for movement only and not its invincibility frames, so I had to find a workaround. I figured out that I can move up and down to be able to avoid the different bullets, so I can move past the first phase after experiencing some difficulty. For her second attack, get this, she shoots a bunch of bullets at us with a twist. Boop, boop, boop. For the whole phase, the screen will be covered by a black fog that prevents us from seeing into the other side. Now, it's easy when it comes to being able to attack her since she shoots her pellets, and the pellets come from her. But when the fog comes to the side where the player is usually meant to stay on, we don't really know where we're going. So my original strategy was to move to the upper half of the screen to try to see where I am. But because of the rate of fire she was firing at, I was most likely going to get hit. Later on, after like an hour or so, I learned that you can use your bullets to see your location. Hear me out, guys. If we know where she is because of her bullets, then we can know where we are because of ours. It's literally just common sense. This just made it way easier than the first part. I mean, we went through all of this difficulty, Like, how hard can the final part be? Are we serious right now? Like, look at it! How the hell am I meant to do that? I have a room temperature reaction time. Like, come on, dude. Chill out, chill out. I'm not going to lie, this is nearly impossible. I looked at it and there's only one feasible way to get through this. Dodge through the gaps near the center of the two bullets. But because of my deer instincts, I'm constantly pressing A and D non-stop, which jitters me. Which leads me to just walking into the bullets or moving away from it, but immediately moving back into it. No matter how much I tried to beat this part, I couldn't beat it with human. I really just wanted to give up. A long time ago, a wise man once said, "To err is human, to forgive is divine." The thing is, though, and I genuinely mean, I keep making dumb mistakes like taking damage on the parts that's meant to be easy. So, what do I do now? Do I just give up? Do I just let you guys down on the promise that I would beat the game at the hardest difficulty? No, that's not right at all. If to err is human, then I'll have to forego my humanity. Yo, like I'm being so dead ass, bro. I really can, bro. I've been recording for 2 hours. 2 hours, bro. I'm gonna have to make like here's what's gonna happen, right? I will still be playing it on insane mode. However, like the thing I said about the invincibility, yeah, no, I'm also gonna have to be using a different character, bro, because I genuinely can't, bro. Oh my god. How do you view them? I don't know, but like this is like really painful, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you. You know, I'm gonna use Umbral, right? Right? Okay, guys. Like I'm really sorry, but it gets to a point, you know. It really gets to a point. Guess how much it helped me? Hmm? It didn't help me much. I still needed to adapt to the lower DPS rate. After a lot of time using Umbral, I got so close to beating the boss, and I was devastated. Four hours and 26 minutes, and we got her to 30 HP. No. Oh my god, no. Then I continued to be mediocre until the end of time. Yeah, no, like literally the next attempt I was able to beat the boss. Yo! Yo! Oh! 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 I did it! 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 Oh my god! You saw that, right? Oh my god! Oh! Yo, 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 yo. Oh, uh, uh. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! The time has arrived, my dear crew. Carve yourselves in my stead. Oh my god. Yo. Oh my god. I did it. I did it. Yes. Again, I was super stoked about beating it. And guess how long the entire recording took? 8 hours and 16 minutes of my life. Over a third of my day on the boss. If you think I am going to do 2 per video, you must actually be... Let me calm myself down. This whole thing is that I struggled so much and yet I still overcame the adversity of my problems. Why do you do this to yourself? You can play the game normally. I play the game at its hardest because it makes me suffer. Me suffering shows that I am still a person, that I can still feel. The feeling of relief at the end of the challenge shows how I can still feel joy and happiness over something. Being able to overcome this difficulty shows that you can overcome other difficulties in life. Suffering is a part of the human experience. If you can't suffer, and if you don't feel anything after overcoming something that made you suffer, then can you really call yourself a human? Feeling things after experiencing them is what it is to be human. To feel is human. To grow is divine.